Sure. Yes. Well, yes. Most biotech products being developed are large molecules. Typically proteins, peptides, antibodies that are given by injection, and they need to be delivered by injection. And that there's a very large opportunity if one could convert some of those to an oral delivery format. It would significantly increase the attractiveness, compliance, even cost of delivering these therapies very broadly. So we see there's a very large opportunity because there are multiple products today. There are injectable proteins and peptides, and that can be, based on our technology platform, can be converted through an oral delivery tablet. And we have very good clinical validation with one human peptide called PTH, parathyroid hormone. PTH plays a very important role in bone metabolism, and there is a subcutaneous product called Forteo, which was developed by Eli Lilly. It's been on the market for many years now, and Forteo is an anabolic bone-building product. It helps patients increase their bone mass. So it's been approved for osteoporosis for many, many years. And Forteo is given by daily subcutaneous injection. And Entera has now demonstrated in human studies that we are able to deliver Forteo, the exact active ingredient in Forteo, with our oral formulation, and we get very good PK profile, very good pharmacokinetic profile that's very similar to Forteo, and with also very good reduced variability. One of the big challenges with oral delivery of proteins and peptides is that you get very high variability patient to patient, and that becomes very challenging then, and subsequently developing something for oral delivery. If you have a very high variability in the dose that is actually absorbed, as you can get, that leads to if you have a very, very high range of how much of the protein is being absorbed, it becomes difficult to control the effect and the dose. And so we've shown that our platform is able to really deliver something peptide orally, but with very good variability, with very low variability. And so that the company's progressed now. We finished a phase 2 study in osteoporosis patients with our oral PTH. That's just a once a day oral delivery of our product. And the data we announced last week was that we met our primary endpoint, which was we had a significant increase in P1NP. P1NP is an anabolic biomarker that correlates with increased bone mass. And so we significantly increased that P1NP after 3 months of treatment with our product. So we're very happy with those results. Now, just to come back, the osteoporosis market is a very large. The indication is a very large market. There are about 200 million patients worldwide that have osteoporosis. It's a very underserved market because of the need for injections. Most drugs to treat osteoporosis today require injections, and I mean that's one of the main reasons that the population is not adequately treated. And so there's a very large opportunity if you come in with an oral drug that builds bone, like Forteo. We think that there's a substantial market opportunity there. Yeah, no, that's a great a great question. So, well, with pricing, I mean, our product is made up of a combination of two chemicals, and and then the active ingredient. So in our case, it's PTH, and we've done. We're confident we can deliver, our product with very attractive cost of goods, because the true chemical, the synthesis of the true chemicals, that can be done at very high scale, very large scale kind of synthesis and production, which is and so we feel that even though, as you said, there are pricing pressures in this marketplace today, with an oral pill, we could have very competitive cost of goods with our product, and actually be able to offer a very attractive selling price with very typical pharmaceutical margins. And also, just to give you some data points, Forteo today, the injectable drug, that price, the annual price of treatment is about $35,000 US dollars. So it's a very high annual price of treatment. The Amgen has a new bone-building drug. It's an injectable called Evenity. Evenity's annual price to the patient is $21,000. So I'm just these products are, because of their injectable nature, and also they are typically biotech with very high cost to produce. Also their selling price to the patient is very high. I think we have a very significant opportunity to be able to offer very substantial price advantages. And even though some of these markets also are becoming generic. As you probably know, Forteo is now, there are generic versions of Forteo in Europe, and so and despite the pricing pressures there with the generic prices of Forteo, with the injectable Forteo, we believe again we could have very attractive cost of goods even in the generic kind of marketplace. Yeah, so for our osteoporosis product, which we call EB613, that is our lead product and the one we announced the recent phase 2 results on. So that the next clinical and regulatory milestones are in the second quarter of this year. We will have the final 6-month bone mineral density results and of this ongoing study, and then we will then file an end of phase 2 meeting request with the U.S. FDA to submit, and we will also submit a phase 3 protocol, so that we get then full agreement with FDA on the exact phase 3 trial that the FDA will require to support approval for EB613 for the treatment of osteoporosis. Now, what the FDA has already indicated to us under our IND is that we can pursue what is called a 505(b)(2) pathway. So that means is that we can just do a single pivotal study. We don't need to do 2 parallel phase 3 studies under the 505(b)(2). You just do a single pivotal study, and it's a comparison study to Forteo. So we do a head-to-head study where we need to show that we are equivalent to Forteo, and typically this pivotal study will be about approximately 700 patients in size. And then, as I said, it's a single study, and the primary endpoint in the study is bone mineral density increase, which is the accepted clinical endpoint that Forteo and PTH analogs are now being approved on. So we'll have the end of phase 2 meeting with FDA in the second half of this year. And again, as I said, we want to make sure we have full agreement with FDA on the exact size of the study, the statistical design, the primary endpoint, and then we'd be in a position to start that study early in next year, early in 2022. Yeah, so that agreement, it was signed 3 years ago that we entered into this collaboration agreement with Amgen, and it's an exclusive license agreement. We are developing an oral formulation of an anti-inflammatory agent that Amgen owns and Amgen wants to develop for oral delivery, and we've been making very steady progress under that collaboration. And Amgen has an exclusive right to that, to use our technology for that anti-inflammatory molecule. And there are, in addition to the research funding that we get on an annual basis, there are also milestone payments that would come to Entera. The milestone payments are total like about $270 million. And they are the typical sort of as the program progresses to like IND filing, different phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 stages. So those milestones are broken up over the development stages, and the total milestones is $270 million. And then there would be royalties on sales once the product is approved and Amgen is selling the product. So there would be increasing revenues to Entera from this collaboration. Well, it is continuing. And it's a license. It's a long-term license agreement, and that Amgen has the exclusive rights to use our platform for delivery of their anti-inflammatory molecule. And it started it was a very early stage research program. We've demonstrated the preclinical kind of proof of concept, and it's been making very steady progress over 3 years, and the program is continuing. That's what we can say about its longevity. Again, now either party, as with many, either party can cancel, can terminate if it's not, the program is not progressing. But the program is progressing, and as I said, Amgen has an exclusive license for our technology for our molecule. So in our earnings release yesterday, we announced increased cash position. We have about $15 million in cash on our balance sheet in mid-March. That funds the company for at least 1 year, so into Q2 of next year, 2022. So we don't have an immediate need to fundraise, and so I think that it was important that we had this thing to include our balance sheet, and so that we can we have the funding to get beyond the final phase 2 readout of this ongoing phase 2 study, and then our end of phase 2 meeting with the FDA, having the outcome of that, and then all our full phase 3 design, so that the market knows what the our study design is going to be for the phase 3. Yeah. Yes, we are going to be approaching the European medical agencies for development of EB613 in Europe, and so that we want to discuss similar to our end of phase 2 discussion with FDA. We want to get agreement what will be required for approval in Europe, and we fully expect that we'll be able to use the pivotal study that we're doing in the U.S. That could also support approval in Europe. I should also say that the phase 3 study we're planning to do, as I mentioned, that will include some European sites, and obviously will be U.S. and European sites. So we do plan to enroll patients also in Europe, but then we want to get agreement from the EMA on what the requirement will be on for approval in Europe.